I grew up in a Christian household. My parents, they brought me up in church. They're actually new believers at the time that I was born, but they brought me up in church. They shared the gospel with me. I accepted Jesus for the first time when I was 5 years old, but like a lot of kids who grew up in church, it didn't really mean a whole lot to me until later on in my life. But as I grew up, I began to develop a lot of fear throughout my elementary and my middle school years. I really lived with a lot of fear and anxiety in my life. I was also bullied when I was in elementary school, and so I was afraid of being bullied again. I wanted people to like me. When I started high school, I was just really eager for people to like me. I really wanted to be liked. I really wanted to be approved of, and so I tried to do that the best way that I knew how. And so I tried as hard as I could to be as smart as I could and athletic as I could, and just get people to like me. Around the same time, my freshman year, I started Wake, and that was when I started to take my Christian faith a bit more seriously. I had a high school leader whose name was Bill, and Bill was really the first person in my life who really discipled me and really taught me what it meant to be a man of God. And I ended up being baptized at the end of my freshman year, but I was still really trying to gain approval from a lot of people in my life. But I really felt like God was pushing me to go to Hope Week that summer after my sophomore year. I'd had plenty of opportunities to go to Hope Week previous years, and it just wasn't really something that I really wanted to do until that point in my life. And so I decided that I'd go, and I signed up, and I went to Hope Week, and that week totally transformed my life. Ben taught out of a passage in Matthew chapter 14, and the passage, in the passage, Jesus was walking on water, and he was calling out to his disciples, and he told Peter to step out of the boat. And Peter did that. He stepped out of the boat and he started walking towards Jesus. And so the point of that message was really just to take steps of faith. So Ben challenged us to step outside of our boat. And so the analogy he gave was that our boat is where we're comfortable. It's where we want to be. But if we step outside of our boat and we take a leap of faith, and we can start to see big things happen. For Peter, that was walking on water. And so that was the challenge kind of going into the week. And so I felt convicted by that challenge, and so I really took it to heart. And I served with everything I had that week, and I decided that I just wanted to do more. I just wanted to do whatever I could for the sake of the gospel, for the faith. And so I signed up for every service project I could. I signed up to go on more mission trips. And so my junior and senior year, I had the opportunity to go to the Dominican Republic and to Thailand, and I shared my faith in those places, shared the gospel with people. And so that kind of all led up to where I am now, where at this point, I'm in a program with Woodside called the Global 100, and I'm preparing to be an overseas missionary for the rest of my life. And so I just remember thinking that if you had told me 5 years ago that I would be going to Liberia, Africa, and I'd be sharing my faith with people who have never heard the gospel in their lives before, I would have thought you were crazy. I didn't really want to share my faith at the time, but it was just about taking small steps of faith. It started with that small step of faith of going to Hope Week, and then I was challenged to take more steps of faith. And so as I kept taking steps of faith, I saw that God was faithful. And so I would encourage you all to do the same things. Just take small steps of faith, no matter where you're at. If you haven't accepted Christ as your Savior yet, then I would encourage you to do that, to dive into that, and to just to see what that's all about. If you know Jesus as your Savior and you haven't been baptized yet, I'd encourage you to be baptized. I would also just encourage any of you who haven't shared your faith with anybody to take a step of faith and share your faith with other people. If you feel God calling you to go on a mission trip, I highly encourage you to go on a mission trip as well. But yeah, that's my story, guys, and so I hope that's encouraging to you.